Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of The Mandalorian. So this is episode 2 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, and where we see Mando go is he heads to, is it Tatooine? I want to say it's Tatooine, but I think I'm wrong. He goes to the planet where Boba Fett is from, or is stationed right now, I guess the best way to put it, or runs. And what happens is he goes to the mechanic that he's always dealt with in the past. So he lands and everything else. And what we see is what she's been up to lately. She's been working with the guys who like to scrape or scrap machinery and scrap machinery, steal the parts, have the guys come in for repairs, and then she gets them to come in with the parts and she fixes it. So she's running a scam. So when he lands, when the Mandalorian lands, they're talking and everything else, and he's saying he's on business and he's looking specifically for a memory chip. And she's like, they don't make those anymore. I mean, for goodness sakes, that's way too old of a technology. So she talks to the creatures, and they're like, and she basically explains to him that it's not going to happen. So she convinces him to use an droid instead, who is clearly scared, not really all that useful, and basically just a walking bag of parts. And finally, she convinces him, and he takes the droid with him, attaches it to a ship, and they take off. They get to Mandalore, and when they land into Mandalore, um, they are going to be using the droid to find out if the planet is toxic, like the rumors have been saying. So they have the droid go out, and what happens is they lose the signal. So the Mandalorian gets out of the ship, tells um, tells the child to stay behind, Gorgu, to stay behind, and he goes in to investigate. So what happens is these troll-like creatures come out, and he has to take them all out one by one. Even uses the dark saber to eliminate these creatures, and then takes the droid out of there. So he brings the droid back to the ship. He finds out that the planet is breathable. So they all come out and they start looking for the stream. I mean, yeah, where the water is. So he can bathe in the waters of Mandalore and be free and into the lore once again. So he lands down. So they go way deep, 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 and it's just in ruins. The whole planet is in shambles. It's really depressing, especially how much we've seen of the planet in Rebels and Clone Wars and how beautiful and prosperous it was. And now it's just rubbish. I mean, it's just wreckage. There's nothing left. So they get to the very bottom. Um, the Mandalorian starts looking around. He finds a helmet that has been destroyed, well, damaged, and it looks like it's rusting. Well, apparently it was a trap. He gets trapped into it by this creature that's part robot, part organic. Puts him in a cage and takes off. Gorgu tries to save him. Unfortunately, that creature tries to attack him. He escapes, and the Mandalorian explains to him to go find Bo-Katan to come help. So Gorgu gets out of there, escapes, uses the Force to take out one of the trolls, gets into the ship, and he is taken to Bo-Katan's planet. Bo-Katan is not happy to see that ship again. She comes out all furious, and then she finds out that, or clearly notices that the Mandalorian Jin is in trouble. So she then takes her ship and takes the droid and Gorgu to come help, to come look for him. And so what happens is they take off, they land on planet, blah 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 blah. She convinces him that he has to help her, because he knows where the Mandalorian is, and she has no idea. I mean, she has an idea that's on planet, but the planet is huge, so that's not helpful. So she gets down there. Gorgu takes her down there specifically. I want to make that clear. And she has to take out a bunch of trolls, looking creatures, takes them out with little difficulty. And then she goes to help um, the Mandalorian. While this is happening, the Mandalorian is pricked with some sort of device to drain his blood. I'm not quite sure why, but he is. And the creature gets attacked by Bo-Katan. She's being outmanned pretty easily until she gets the Darksaber, and she starts making quick work of him, destroys his body. He then gets the bigger body, and she starts ripping it apart little by little, and then eventually kills the creature. The Mandalorian passes out. She takes him out and brings him somewhere. We're not 100% sure where. Somewhere on planet. He wakes up, and she's explained to him that they got to get out of there. It's safer, and he refuses because he has to go into the water. And she's like, "Fine, I'll take you to the water, but you're gonna find out that it's nothing like you think it is." So she takes him to the water, and she explains that the first Mandalorians went down here, and they found this mythical creature, and supposedly they killed it and used its skull as the markings of their people. She doesn't believe any of it. He then starts taking off a lot of his equipment, goes into the water, falls. She goes down to save him. She gets him because he sunk right to the bottom. She then takes him out. As she goes up, she sees a creature that is very similar to the creature that we see, or the skeleton of the creature we see. In like it's their mythical creature that is supposed to be of Mandalore. Um, and when she comes out, obviously they're heavily breathing and everything else, but I think it's made a believer out of her, and I think she's going to be changing her ways significantly after seeing the creature being alive, overall. So yeah, a lot of just great action, pushing the story along. Not 100% sure where we're going with it yet. I have a feeling that Bo-Katan has got this change of mind where she's going to be much more, I don't want to say religious, but much more believing of the Mandalorian way. Because we hear a lot about her being of the royal family and how she had to do things whether she agreed with it or not, type of thing. Because it seems like she didn't fully believe everything that was said. Although after this episode, I think she's much more of a believer than she was in the past, for sure. Um, and definitely interested to see where this is going to go from now on, because I thought the whole season was going to be of him finding the place and going into the water. But this is episode 2, and there's 6 more episodes for sure of we're not sure what's going to happen. So I think I was more surprised that we already made it to a point where I thought was going to be much later in the season, but I'm not mad about it. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go with this. Um, I was hoping we were going to see Grogu use the dark saber, but we did not. Kind of sad, but I get it. We did get to see Bo-Katan use it again, which is very nice. Definitely like that, and she's definitely much more skilled with it than he is, the Mandalorian. So overall, super excited about it. I'm hoping this continues in the way it's going, because I did like it a lot. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. And this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. So have a great night.